And now at 11, two major rulings from the U.S. Supreme Court leave a stinging blow to the Biden administration and infuriate members of the LGBTQ community.
The Supreme Court blocked the president's student loan forgiveness program and ruled in favor of a Colorado web designer who refused to create a website for a same-sex couple because of her religious beliefs. CBS News Miami's Anna McAllister joins us in the newsroom with the impact of these decisions.
Both rulings were 6-3 decisions. Now President Biden is discussing different ways to provide student debt relief, while others are speaking out about the court's LGBTQ rights decision. The Supreme Court has spoken, and President Joe Biden is responding.
Come on. The hypocrisy is stunning.
The nation's highest court ruling in favor of Republican lawmakers Friday, striking down the president's student loan forgiveness program. The program would have dismissed up to $20,000 of student loans for millions of Americans.
Today's decision has closed one path. Now we're going to pursue another. I'm never going to stop fighting for you.
Florida leaders releasing statements following the Supreme Court decision. Congresswoman Frederica Wilson saying in part, banks get billions in bailouts while debt-ridden students get nothing. Senator Rick Scott also commenting on the decision, saying in part, I'm glad to see the Supreme Court reject Joe Biden's latest publicity stunt. Shortly after the student loan decision, the Supreme Court sided in favor of a Colorado web designer who did not want to create same-sex wedding websites because of her religious beliefs.
Nobody should be forced to create a message that goes against his or her convictions.
The Supreme Court citing the First Amendment as the reason for the decision.
Now here we are being legally discriminated against because of who we are marrying. Who's to say that down the line there aren't going to be signs in storefronts that says we don't serve gays?
In both rulings, Justices Sonia Sotomayor, Elena Kagan, and Ketanji Brown Jackson dissented. President Biden says his administration will look for a different way to lower student debt, basing the new plan on a different law than the one the student loan forgiveness program was linked to. Meanwhile, members of the LGBTQ plus community say they fear further discrimination and add that they'll continue to fight for their rights. For now, reporting in the newsroom, Anna McAllister, CBS News, Miami.
And today's rulings wrap up the High Court's term, but the justices will soon be back to work. In the next term, they'll decide whether the Second Amendment protects gun owners who have domestic violence restraining orders against them. That's after a federal appeals court invalidated the law, thus making it easier for people with a history of domestic violence to obtain guns. There are two cases the court decided not to issue rulings on. In Ohio, questions are being raised about redistricting. The High Court sent that back down to a lower court to be reviewed. Justices also decided to allow a transgender woman to sue a Virginia men's prison on the basis of discrimination.